Namaste. I am Jyoti Chigallapalli from International Institute of Vedic Sciences, Rishi Vatika. I welcome you all the enthusiasts. Namaste. I am Jyoti Chigallapalli. There's an echo on this. I welcome you all the I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Namaste. I'm Jyoti Chigallapalli from International Institute of Vedic Sciences, Rishi Vatika. I welcome you all the enthusiasts of Vedic Sciences and Sanatana Dharma who have joined us live on the Rishi Vatika YouTube channel today. Let us start this session with a short prayer. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Manojavam Maratatullya Vegam, Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam, Vatatmajam Vanarayoda Mukhyam, Sri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami. Here we have with us Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya ji, the speaker of the day. Namaste and welcome back, Ravi Prakash ji. Today, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya ji will be giving a talk on sciences of Srauta Yagas. Srauta is a Sanskrit word that means belonging to Shruti, that is anything based on the Vedas of Hinduism. You might have previously seen him in this series giving very good talks about energy in Vedas on July 11th, nature and scope of Vedic sciences on September 13th, the scientific origin of Vedic meters and musical note on October 18th. Thank you so much, sir, for giving beautiful lectures on all of these series, and we welcome you back. This is the 63rd talk in Dr. Vedavyas Memorial Online Lecture Series being conducted by International Institute of Vedic Sciences, promoted by Vedavyas Bharati Trust, USCAFE, and Yoga Brotherhood of America with the blessings of Puja Guruji Dr. Vedavyas. Thanks to IIVS for giving me this opportunity to introduce Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya ji today. Professor Ravi Prakash Arya ji is a world-renowned Vedic scholar, philologist, historian, and philosopher. He is a prolific speaker and writer. He is widely traveled scholar who has delivered more than 350 popular academic talks on various topics of Vedas, Indian history, linguistics, philosophy, culture, and scientific Indian heritage in various countries of the world. He has delivered more than a dozen radio and TV talks in Asia, Europe, Africa, and Northern America. He has participated in more than 75 national and international conferences and seminars. He has so far produced around 64 research papers and 38 books, running into 44 volumes on the various aspects of Vedas, Indian history, and culture under the auspices of Indian Foundation of Vedic Sciences. He is an editor for the acclaimed quarterly research journal, Vedic Sciences, and of the World Vedic Calendar that is circulated through more than 10 countries in the world. During this lecture, if you have any questions and comments, please post them in the comment section of the YouTube. Now I request Dr. Ravi Prakash ji to deliver his talk. Sir, over to you, please.
Thank you, Jyoti. I also thank Padmaja Gangadharji for beautifully organizing all these lectures under Dr. Vedavyas Memorial Lecture Series. So today's lecture is on a very interesting and important topic, that is science of the Srauta Yagas. Science of the Srauta Yagas, generally we see the Indian tradition, it's a tradition of yoga, Veda, Yajna, and Puranas. The tradition itself has these three main pillars. It is all based upon these pillars. In fact, we start with the Veda. We think that Indian tradition starts with the Veda, but Indian tradition starts with the Yajna. That is why in Sanskrit, Yajniyat Bharata Bhumi, Yajnya Bharata Bhumi, the mostly the adjective or the attributive that has been used with the Indian nation is the Yajnya Bhumi. This is Yajnya Bhumi. It is a place of Yajjas, the place of the origin of Yajjas, like that we call. So the main main pillar of the Indian culture or the Vedic culture is the Yajna. Yajna. And in Vedic tradition, it is said that Sarvam Vedat Prasiddhyati. Everything is well known or published from the Veda. Means Yajna. Yajna comes first. After Yajna comes the Veda. Sarvam hi Veda Yajnat Prasiddhyati. This type of tradition we have. And Veda hi yajyaratham prasiddha. Regarding Vedas also, it is said that Vedas were publicized or were made known for the just to understand the yajna itself. So the origin of Vedas is considered to explain this yajna. And there is a very famous mantra in Rig Veda, Tasmat yajnat sarvahutaha richa samani jajjire tasmad yajus tasmad azayataha. This mantra, it clearly says that from the yajna, this Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sham Veda, and Athar Veda, they originated. So this way, yajna is the main pillar of Vedic culture, and from yajna, the Vedas they get originated. So now the question is, what is yajna? There is another mantra, there is another shlok in Manusmriti, and this Manusmriti also says, Agni Vayu Ravibhyastu Trayam Brahma Sanatanam Dudoha Yajna Siddhyaratham Rig Yaju Sama Lakshanam. Means just for the success of this yajna, just to know this yajna, all these Yajurveda, Rigveda, Samveda, all these Vedas originated just to for the explanation of this yajna. So, what is this yajna in fact? This yajna, in fact, yajna is it's not a ritual we are doing today. Yajna is the process of creation. The process of creation that is known as yajna, and creation taking place anywhere and at any place, that is also known as a yajna. That is why the Brahmana, the authors of the Brahmanas, the Brahmana texts, they very proudly uh, says that yajno vai shreshtatamam karma. And yajna is the best action, best action. Why the yajna is the best action? Because yajna, it refers to the creation, creativity, positivity. It doesn't refer to the negativity. So the yajna has been exclaimed as the best action, shreshtatamam karma. So this yajna, what is this yajna in fact? Yajna is the creation, creation of the universe, creation of the human beings. So this whole process in this cosmos, in this present universe, is known as yajna. And Veda, in our tradition, Veda is the knowledge of creation. As I have already told in many of my lectures, Veda is the knowledge of creation. And this Puran and Itihas, they are the history of creation and as well as the history of the time reckoning, Kala Ganna. So these are the three main things that constitute the Vedic culture or the Vedic system of knowledge. Indian intellectual tradition, if we say the origin of Indian intellectual tradition, that finds its origin starting from the yajna itself. And based upon yajna, All the Vedas were written based upon Vedas, Upavedas, Vedangas. This entire literature was created or produced in India based upon the Yajna itself. So this Yajna, the creation, the process of creation, it has been divided into two parts. First one is the Shrota Yaga, and second one is the Smarta Yagas. Shrota Yagas and Smarta Yagas. Shrota Yagas are being dealt with in Shrauta Sutras, and Smarta Yagas have been dealt with in Smriti Granthas. So, what is the basic difference between Shraut and Smart? Just like Jyoti informed us that Shraut belongs to the Shruti Parampara, that Shruti tradition, uh, uh, which is said to be the origin of the Vedas. And Smart is the Smriti tradition. In fact, Indian system, the Vedic system, has two traditions. So, the tradition of Shrota Yagas and tradition of Smarta Yagas. And similarly, these two yagas, the two tradition of the yagas, they are performed in different agnis. Srota yagas are generally performed in Ahavaniya Agni, and Smarta Yagas, they are conducted into Gahrapatya fire or a Gahrapatya Agni. In Yagas, there are three types of fire. We call them Ahavaniya, Gahrapatya, and Dakshina Agni, like that. But the main fire is known as a Gahrapatya. That is the source fire. And Srota Yagas, they are conducted into that Gahrapatya fire. And Smarta Yagas and Shrota Yagas, they are conducted into Ahavaniya fire. But now the question is, what is Smarta Yaga and what is Shrota Yaga? What is the difference between these two yagas? In fact, Smarta Yagas, they are the process of the biological creation or the creation of human beings. So, Smarta Yagas are being dealt with in Griha Sutras. Griha Sutras, just like Srota Yagas are dealt with in Srauta Sutras. In Griha Sutras. So, what type of these yagas are? These yagas are 16 sanskaras, right from the human birth till his last journey. These sanskaras are performed. Garbhadhan, Putrishti, Vivaha Sanskar, all these 16 Sanskaras, they come into the category of Smarta Yagas. Means the Smarta Yagas generally pertain to the Yagas dealing with the origin of the human being till his life ends. So this Sanskara system. And these all yagas, they are performed in Grihagni or Gahrapatya Agni. So here I have defined the process of creation both biological and material, or say creation of matter and space. This is all yajna, and from this yajna tradition we can we have the smart yajnas. Smart yajna are known as griha yajnas. They are performed in Grihagni. They are the subject matter of Griha Sutras. Why they are performed in Grihagni? Because Grihagni or Garhapatya Agni, the family genes, the tradition of family sanskaras. We are performing all smart yajnas in Grihagni or Garhapatya Agni, that is the family fire, so that the sanskaras of the family, they may be advanced from one generation to the another future generations. So all these smarta yagas, they are performed in Garhapatya Agni. But for performing Shrauta yagas, we require the Ahavaniya Agni. Smarta yagas in Garhapatya, and for smart Ahavaniya fire is required. What is Ahavaniya fire? Ahavaniya fire doesn't have its own fire. In fact, when Ahavaniya Kunda or altar is started, Then the fire from Gahrapatya Kund, the altar, the fire is taken and that is burnt into the Ahavaniya fire. What does that means? From the family sanskaras of the knowledge or vidya, from based upon those sanskaras, we try to understand the entire cosmos as per our sanskaras, and that understanding of the cosmic system that is known as smart Srauta Yaga. And one more thing, because whatever is conducted in this society or in this world or hereafter, whatever a human conducts or a human being does, that has some purpose behind. Without any purpose, even a fool will not come forward to do anything. So these yagas must have some purpose. Purpose is just to make a human being known about the whole creation, the knowledge. Because Indian tradition says, Rite Jnanat na mukti. One cannot get moksha or emancipation without knowing the whole Rita and Satya, all the laws of creation in right manner without knowing vidya and avidya. Avidya means knowledge of the material world, and vidya means knowledge of the spiritual world. The knowledge of both is essential if we want emancipation or incarnation or moksha, you can say. So the purpose of yajna is also the same thing. The final aim of the yajnas, it has been described into Shatpat Brahmana. Shatpat Brahmana says all yajnas aim at Atma Sampadana, self accomplishment. Sarvairhi yajjair Atmanam Sampannam Vide. All the purpose of all the yagas is enrichment of the human life, human being with the knowledge of the entire cosmos, with the knowledge of the vidya and avidya. So this is the final aim of the yagas. And smart yag, I told earlier, they symbolize biological creation of the progeny and related sanskaras. They are performed in Grihagni because family genes are to be, or sanskaras. In psychological sense, in a spiritual sense, it is sanskar, but the same sanskar at psychological level, it transforms into biological genes when a human being born. So they are performed in Grihagni because family genes are carried forward from one generation to another generation. So now we are coming to the main subject of the Shrotayag. Shrotayag, as I already informed, Shrotayag, it symbolizes the process of the material creation, or you can say the process of matter and space, and they are performed in Ahavaniya fire, that is the fire by taking some fire from Gahrapatya fire. Ahavaniya means we take some part of the fire from the Gahrapatya fire and place it into the Ahavaniya altar, then only the Srota Yagas are performed. And the aim of the Srota Yagas, it has also been described into our scriptures. Brahmanic yajnas were subjected to adhyatma. All the ritual system, all the yajnas, those have been described in Brahmana granthas. And they have their base, all the Srota yagas, they have their base in Yajurveda. And Yajurveda, the Yajurvedas, the Brahmana texts, they explain it further, and the Sota Sutras, they explain them finally. So, all the yajnas described into Brahmana Granthas, they have the three subjects. They are subjected to Adhyatma, metaphysical, as their primary significance, and others such as Adhidaivat, astrophysical, and Adibhutik or physical, they are dealt with there. as a secondary significance. So primary meaning or the significance of the yajna is yag. So the yag is adhyatmika significance, and secondary is adhidaivik and adhibhautika. A close perusal of the Brahman Granthas confirms this fact. The Adhyatmic intent of the yajnas has been referred to 100 times in Brahman text, whereas astrophysical and physical intents have been referred to 60 times and 9 times respectively in Brahman texts. Now, I'll be giving him certain illustrations. Now I'm coming to the adhidaivik aspect, adhyatmic aspect, the scientific aspect of the yajnas. I'm not dealing here with the adhyatmic aspect, but the adhidaivik and adhibhautik aspect, that is known as the physical or scientific aspect of the yajnas, because this is the subject matter of today's talk. So I'll give a little bit illustrations how the yagas they are scientific and what does they illustrate. What do they illustrate? And finally, I will come. I will deal with the Agni Somya Pashu Yaga, main of the one of the main yagas, because if we start dealing with all yagas in detail, it will not be possible in one lecture. In fact, every yaga required one separate lecture. The Srauta yagas, they start from 1 day to the 1000 years long yagas. And 1 day yaga is known as Ekahina yaga. And 1000 years long yaga, that is named as Vaiswasrij yaga. And some examples may be given. Ekahina yaga, it represents the rotation of earth around its axis, which is responsible for the creation of day and light. So this Srota Yagas, this represent the rotation of earth. Now, similarly, we have after Ekahin, we have Darsh and Paurnamas Yagas mentioned in Yajurveda and in Shatpat Brahmana. In Shatpat Brahman, their meaning, what is their purpose, it has been described. We come across a reference in Shatpat Brahman where Dash Purnamas and Chaturmasya Yagas. Darsh, Darsh means Amavasya, Purnamas means Paurnamasi. So this is monthly system. 1 month's yag you can call, or the measurement of the month it describes. And similarly, the Chaturmasya yagas are also there. Chaturmasya means they start with the rainy season, the 4 months of the rainy season. They have been depicted as having twofold objects of their performance. They have twofold objects. Number one is Atma Yajitva. Atma Yajitva means self realization, just to make one realized, or with the realized with the self, its own nature, with his own true nature and the nature of the Brahman. And another intent of these yagas is known as Deva Yajitva. Deva Yajitva means astrophysical. And Shatpat Brahman says, Prajapatiraha Chaturamashair Atmanam Vidadehi. And there is a Sayana's commentary over it. And according to Sayana, Yatha Darsha Purnamasa Yajina Deva Yajitvam Cheti Dvaividhyam Darshitam Evam Chaturmasya Yajino Api Tathatvam Darshaitum Shariravayav Kalpan Akhyaika Rachiyati. Just like in case of Darsha and Purnamas Yagas, we have illustrated the Devayajitva, their astrophysical sense. Similarly, in case of Chaturmasyas, their astrophysical sense is going to be illustrated here. It has been stated. Thereupon, as regards the question of who is superior between Devayaji and Atmayaji, because it has two meanings. One is Devayajitva, astrophysical, and another is Atmayajitva, metaphysical or the spiritual. Then the question arises, which one is the stronger, which one is the superior between two? A person who performs a yaga for devayajitva, just to understand this cosmic creation, or a person who performs the yaga for his own accomplishment. So, who is superior? So, Brahman says, Shatpat Brahman Yajvalakya, Maharshi Yajvalakya, the author of the Shatpat Brahman, he says, Atmayaji iti Shreyan, Devayaji. From Devayaji, Atmayaji is the superior. Atmayaji iti sah hai Atmayajino Vededam me anenangam sanskrite idam me anenangam upadhiyata. Because Atmayaji, a person who is performing yag just for his self accomplishment, he knows that with this part of the yaga, this part of my body is going to be accomplished. So that way Atmayaji is more superior. That is the Atmayaji is superior between Atmayaji and Devyaji. Atmayaji is he who knows performing yajna, which of the parts of his body is being consecrated or augmented by the particular action of the yajna. So, the in astrophysical sense, Darsha represents the lunar dark fortnight of the lunar fortnight, and Paurnamas it represents the lunar bright month. Similarly, because this why the Darsh and Purnamas yagas are performed in Vedas, because the this moon it has a lot of impact, influence on human metabolism, and due to that, in fact, the human menstrual cycle it is also influenced by the moon. Veda says there is a mantra in, there are many mantras in the Vedas, and the mantra says Dashme Masi Sutve. The mother gives birth to the child in 10 months, but generally we see it, it is 9 months, no, instead of the 10 months. Then why the Vedas they are describing 10 months? Because the Vedas they are talking about the sidereal month. Sidereal month when moon takes its orbit around the earth, it starts from one particular nakshatra and again it reaches that nakshatra, that is known as the sidereal month, and a sidereal month has 27 days time. So 27, if we multiply 27 by 10, then it becomes 270, or the same solar 9 months or the sidereal 10 months is the same thing. So even high tides and low tides, we understand moon exert a lot of pressure on earth. When moon is close, directly close to the earth, high tides takes place. So the lunar influence was studied by Vedic seers, and on the basis of that, these Darsh and Purnamas Yagas they were formulated. Then coming next is one of the satras of the Srauta Sutras, Srauta Yagas, that is known as a Varshik Satra. And this Vartik Satra, year-long Satra in Etreya Brahman, it represents Earth's revolution around the sun. Similarly, there are certain Srauta Yagas performed as a reconciliatory yagas. In Nidana Sutra, one Atiratra Yaga has been described, and it says what Atiratra Yaga refers to. It refers to the reconciliation of the civil year of 360 days with the solar year of 365.25 days, because a solar day has 365.25 days instead of a civil year it is it has 360 days. So there is a difference of 6 days and few hours. So how to reconcile this period? Just for reconciliation of this period, the Atiratra Yag has been described over there. And it says to reconciliate synodic lunar year of 350 days with a solar year of 365 days, Ekadas Ratra Ahim Yag was prescribed. There is another one more month that is known as synodic lunar year, and that consists of 365, 354 days. And the solar month, it has 365 days. So apparently there is a difference of 11, 12 days. Just to reconciliate that, Ekadas Ratra Ahim Yag was described. And Taittiriya Samhita discusses Atiratra makes four Atiratras makes the year incomplete. Means this is the another concept. Context 11 days Atiratra Yag, and context, in the context of civil day and solar day, there is Atiratra Yag of 4 or 5 days. So Taittiriya Samhita describes this. It says that the 4 Atiratra makes the year incomplete. Means if you add 360 plus 4, it will be 364. So the year is not going to reconcile. So 6 Atiratras gives access. If we do Atiratra Yag for 6 days, then it will be 360 days. It will be an access. So the 5 Atiratras are best for attaining unison with the seasons. It says so. Then perform Atiratra Yag for 5 days. Similarly, at one place, the 11 days Atiratra Yag has been prescribed so that the synodic lunar year may be reconciled with the solar year. Similarly, there is in Tande Brahmana, there is a mention of a 12-year Satra in Naimisharanya. In Naimisharanya, the seers they performed 12 years Yag. And this 12 years Yag, it represents Jupiter's course around the sun. And we all know this Kumbh Mela is just to recognize that system. Because when Jupiter takes one round of the sun within 12 years in Kumbh Rasi, when it starts from Kumbh Rasi and again comes to the Kumbh Rasi, the 12-year Samvatsar of the Jupiter ends. So the Kumbh Mela is celebrated just to recognize the beginning of the Samvatsar, 12 years Samvatsar of the Brihaspati or Jupiter. So there is one Sayana Satra in Taittiriya Samhita, and it says, calls it Vaishwasrija Yaga, and it is said that Vaishwasrija Yaga is performed for 1000 years. What does this 1000 symbolize? In fact, in one kalpa, there are 1000 Mahayugas. So, kalp is considered as the lifespan on the earth, human lifespan, or the earth will be able to sustain life of biological life. It is said, as per our Vedic system, for 1000 Mahayugas. So that 1000 Mahayuga, period of 1000 Mahayuga is equal to one Kalpa. So this Vaishwasrija Yaga, it symbolizes the Kalpa period or the origin of life or the biological life on earth for a Kalpa period. Similarly, we perform the Agnihotra Yaga. Mostly everybody knows that Agnihotra Yaga, how to perform it. So Agnihotra Yag, what does this represent? In fact, Agnihotra means the falling of sun rays over the earth. This Agnihotra is always performed daily by sun rays when they are falling on the earth. And Shatpat Brahman says here in Agnihotra, the sun acts as the Agni and earth as the Vedi. The entire creation on earth is caused by sun. So this biological life flourishing on the earth is known as Agnihotra, and it is performed by sun over the earth, and that way earth is known as the altar. Altar means Vedi. This I think this uh, Shatpat Brahmana's statement I quoted here, but this font has corrupted. In fact, this statement says Tavati Vedi Yavati Vai Prithvi, means the size of the altar of the Agnihotra is as much as the size of the earth. Tavati Vai Vedi Yavati Prithvi. And this Shatpat Brahman, it gives a detailed commentary on this mantra of the Yajurveda and illustrates a ritual of a Vedi parigraha, enclosures of the earth. Here Vedi represents earth. So the prime aim, similarly the aim of Agnihotra has also been described into Shakpat Brahmana. It says Agnihotra, the aim of Agnihotra is to expound the Brahman or Atman, supreme self. शौचेयो है प्राचीन योग्य उद्दालकम आरुणिम आजगाम ब्रह्मोद्यम अग्निहोत्रम विविदिशामि. The Shaucheya, one scholar, Shaucheya, he went to the Uddalak, Aruni Uddalak, and he goes to the Guru, his Guru Aruni Uddalak, and tells him that I just want to know the Agnihotra. And what is this Agnihotra? Brahmodyam, that defines the Supreme Self. So the prime aim of the Agnihotra was also the expounding, just to explain the Supreme Self. And its astrophysical sense is that origin of life on the earth through sun rays. So this is how all the Srauta Yagas, they have three meanings, two meanings at least. Now we are coming to one more important issue has been discussed into Shrota Sutras, and that is known as a Yajna Chidra. Yajna Chidra means if there is some inaccuracy performing the yajna, then that is to be made up with certain things, and that is known as a Yajna Chidra. These manual yajnas were performed in precise conformity with the cosmic yajnas. So every bit of accuracy was required in their performance. To avoid any mistake or to make the mistakes, to make up the mistakes, separate chapters have been devoted in the name of Yajna Chitra. So the yajnas, what we are performing here today, they are just the copy of the cosmic yajna. Just to understand that yajna, these yajnas are performed here. So, Agni Chayana, there is also one of the Agni Chayana sanskar is done. Agni Chayana means bringing fire from Garapatya altar to the Ahavaniya Kunda. So, this is known as Agni Chayana. Shakpat Brahman says that aim of Agni Chayana, just to bringing fire from Arhapatya to the Ahavaniya Kunda, is also Atma Sansakar or self purification. तथा है एवेतद यजमान एताः पुरः प्रपद्यावहे नाष्ट्रः एतम आत्मानं संस्कुरुते. And Sayana, while commenting on this portion of the Shakpat Brahman, it says, तथायम यजमानो अपि उपसदोर मध्ये अग्निचयनेन आत्मानं संस्कुरुते. When the bringing, the action of bringing fire from Gahrapatya altar to the Ahavani altar also symbolizes the Atma Sanskara. Means we are carrying forward the sanskaras of our family to our future generation. So Agni Somya Pashuyag, this is most important yagas, and I just want to shed some light on this yaga here, and this will explain how the yagas were performed. Generally, Agni Somya Pashuyag, it also represents the metaphysical, astrophysical, and physical aspects. In metaphysical sense, Agni Somya means It is the charging of the individuated consciousness or a human being, charging of a human being with knowledge. Because Agni, when the knowledge transformation is done, knowledge is transferred to an uneducated human being from his guru, that guru or the teacher or the acharya, he acts as the Agni. And that student who deserve to be imparted knowledge, he is known as Soma. So Agni Soma, and that uneducated student, he is known as Pashu. So this Agni Soma Pashu Yag is given when the knowledge is transferred by Guru to his student. And in this case, Guru is Agni and that Somya Pashu is that student. And this yag is performed, because how the yag is performed, generally a Srauta yag is performed when the oblation of the soma, they are offered to the fire. Oblation of the soma is offered to the fire. So here the oblation of that student or Pashu or Somya Pashu is offered to the fire of the teacher, Agni of the teacher, and this is how this Agni Somya Pashu Yag takes place. Pashu here means the curious student or an individual who is able to perceive the world around him but is devoid of the knowledge of the same. Why a student or anybody, any human being is known as Pashu? Because he is able to see, perceive the world, but he is not able to understand it. So, for the understanding of this cosmos, for this world, for this creation, for the Brahman, the yaga or yajna is required. Pashu Sanjapana. There is a most popular term used in Shrota Yagas, and that term is Pashu Sanjapan. Mostly the people, they translate this term as Pashu Sanjapan as sacrificing animals. Means they are talking about the animal sacrifice. But they forget that a child born, newly born child who has not yet been given sanskaras of education, he is also an animal. So here Pashu Sanjapan means just to surcharging that human being with the knowledge. Sanjapan means just to give knowledge, imparting knowledge to a student or to a curious student who deserve to get the knowledge. So this Pasu Sanjapan here makes this sense. So the complete surcharging of a human being leads to his emancipation. That is known as universalization of an individual, or called as moksha. So this is how at spiritual level this Agni Shomya Pashuyag happens, occurs, or takes place. So this is most important point to be noted here, that Agni means teacher, Som is a student, or just like he is a good conductor of the charge, just like in Vedas, Gyanagni. We use frequently the word as a Gyanagni, means this knowledge has been equated with the fire itself. So, Gyanagni, Gyan, a teacher who is endowed with knowledge, that is Agni, and a student who requires knowledge, he is Soma. So Agni means a charge of knowledge, or sage, a guru or teacher, and Som is a good conductor of the charge, or say a student worthy of charging with knowledge. A Som is always sacrificed to Agni for the accomplishment of the process of surcharging. So this is the spiritual meaning of Agni Shomya Pashuya. Now, physical meaning is also there. Physically, Agni means negatively charged particle, and Soma means positively charged particles. And these particles or anti-particle means the particle is also known as a Pashu here. So when a particle it joins with his anti-particle, that annihilation process takes place. So that annihilation yajna is also going on. So physically it represents annihilation process of Agneya, negatively charged particle, and Somiya, positively charged particle, matter or matter particles, known in modern science as a matter and antimatter. Matter. So, in astrophysical sense, Agni Somya Pashuvaga, it is a method of rain formation. How the rain is formed, this Agni Somya Pashuyaga refers to this method. When metaphysical aspect is signified, the yajnas assume the character of a Brahma Yaj. Means when the Srauta Yaga has a metaphysical significance, or in the sense of metaphysical sense, all the Srauta Yagas, they will be called as Brahma Yajnas. And so far as the astrophysical sense or astronomical sense is signified, all the Srauta Yagas, they will be known as Deva Yajnas. So the purpose of Deva Yajna, of this Agni Somya Pashu Yaga, is narrated in the Yajurveda, because Yajurveda's sixth chapter, it deals with the Agni Somya Pashu Yaga. So the sixth chapter of the Yajurveda, the purpose of the Agni Somya Pashu Yaga or Deva Yajna has been narrated. And what is the purpose? He says, Adbhyastu aushadibhya, that is, for the sake of waters and vegetation, we procure you, O Havis. In context of Havis, the seer is talking. During the course of translating this stanza, Uvat clarifies the same meaning with a quotation from Shruti. Uvat says, Idam hi yada varshayatah aushadhayo jayante. Idam hi yad avarsatyath idam hi yad avarshati ath aushadhayo jayante. Whenever it rains, the herbs grow. So the purpose of this Agni Somya Pashuyaga in Yajurveda itself, it has been described as the growth of vegetations and the rain formation. Further, the main purpose of the Agni Somya Pashuyaga in Adhidaivat sense is as evident from the actual verse of the Yajurveda is rain making. It has already been clarified. This is why the seer says that the Pashu endowed with the quality of Agni and Soma is procured for the Yajna. In that Yajurveda, the seer says that we require a Pashu which endows with the quality of Agni as well as Soma, just to sacrifice into this yaga. So, what is this Agni? Pashu of the Agni, quality of Agni, and Pashu of the quality of Soma. The mantra is Agni Somabhyam Justam Niyunasmi. And the type of vegetation means Agneya vegetation as well as Somya vegetation. There are two types of vegetations described. And even the Vedic tradition says Agni Shomatmakam Idam Sarvam. This whole universe is composed of Agneya as well as Somya elements. Agneya means one positive, negative as well as positive. So one element is negative, another is positive, just like one matter, antimatter, negative charge, positive charge of electricity. So this whole cosmos is made of two systems, Agneya and Somya. So just if we want to make it rain, then the Ahuti, this Pashu means Ahuti, Ahutirhi Pashu. Many times it has been described. Whatever oblation or Ahuti you are going to offer, that is known as Pashu. So that Ahuti must consist of the Agneya element as well as Somya element. And the type of vegetation worthy of augmenting the power of Agni and Soma are consecrated. Agni Somabhyam Twa Justam Prokshami. In fact, for making it rain, Agni and Som are coordinated in a particular ratio. This has been described by Yask in his Nirukta. Yask says, Apam cha jyotishasya mishri bhava karmano varsha karma jayate. When Apa means Somya elements, Somya herbs, and Jyotish means Agni herbs, they are mixed up in a particular ratio, then the varsha karma jayate. Then the rain takes place. So, what is Agni? Now, the question is, what is Agni and what is Som? Because one of some type of ahuti is called as Agni and another is Somya. So, what is the difference between Agni and Som? This has been very precisely described in Shatpat Brahmana. Shatpat Brahmana says, Dvayam va idam na tritiyam asti. There are only two things in this whole universe. Third thing is not there. Ardram chaiva shushkam cha. One is Ardra, one is Somya, another is Shushka, another is Agneya. Yat Shushkam tadagneyam tada Ardram tada Somyam. Yat Shushkam, whatever is dry, that is Agneya, and Yad Ardram, whatever is wet, that is Somya. There are only two elements, no third one is there. One is dry, another is wet. Dryness pertains to Agni and wetness pertains to Soma. So two types of herbs. If you will find dry or wet, they are required for this Agni Somya Pashu Yaga. And now what is Pashu? Because Pashu, as I have described, Pashu means heavy, and in Brahmana Granthas, Pashu has been defined particularly. Here, the great debatable term is Pashu because with with this word Pashu, the scholars and the Western scholars, if they started saying that Indians they were doing animal sacrifice, and even in Purushmedha also, in context of the Purushmedha, it was said that human sacrifice was also prevalent in the Vedas, and another four Pashus are there: Ashwa, Avi, Gau, and Aza. So they says that cow was sacrificed, horse sacrifice was done, Aza, sheep was, Avi was, means sheep sacrifice was done, and Aza, the goat was sacrificed. So this idea was associated with the Vedic system. That Vedic people they used to sacrifice, immolate human beings, horse, cow, goat, and sheep. But these are not the these animals what we see biological animals. They are different type of animals. This pashu is the cosmic Pashu, and sometime a person without knowledge, that is also known as Pashu. So here the word Pashu has been defined. This yajna has primarily been taken by many ancient and modern Vedic scholars for animal killing. Now the question arises as to what was the actual nature of the Pashu to be sacrificed as a havi for deities in context of Deva Yajna, whether it was animal or the plants. Aitreya Brahman says, Havirihi Pashuhu. This Pashu was used as a Havi. To clarify it, we may quote here the seer of Yajurveda. And the Yajurvedic seer says, according to him, Vanaspati or vegetation is selected for Deva Yajna. What is what is the Havi or Pashu that is to be selected for the Deva Yajna? He says Vanaspati. Tamva Jushamahe Deva Vanaspati Deva Yajnayai. Means these Vanaspati, these vegetations, they are to be selected as Pashus to be sacrificed into the Yagas. O vegetation, we select you as oblation material for the Deva Yajna. So, oblation material or the offering ahutis, they were made up of vegetables, herbs. They were not made up of animals. Sacrificing material in Devyaj is plants or food grains and nothing else. Whatever material is to be sacrificed in the yajna, or offered in the yajna, that has to be plants or food grains and nothing else. It is proved by the following reference of the Shatpat Brahmana. Shatpat Brahmana also says, Ulu khal musaladbhyam drishada upaladbhyam havir yajjam ghananti. Means the sacrificial material for Dev Yajna is pounded with the help of ulukal and musal. A horse, cow, or human being, they cannot be pounded with a mortar or wooden pestle. Only ulukal and musal, only the dravyas, the grains or vegetables, they can be pounded. Thus, the act of Pashu's killing with ulukal and musal, in fact, is the preparation of the havi to be offered to the fire of yajna, made up of grains or the plants. Gananti va etat pashum yad agnau jumphati. Shatpat Brahmana again says that this uh, offering material is pounded with the help of ulukal and musal or mortar and wooden pestle before offering it to the fire of yajna. Now, another question, the nature of ahutis to be offered to the fire of yajna at another place. Shatpat Brahman clearly states that only vegetation is used for the yajnas. Man could not have performed yajna but for vegetation. Without vegetation, you can't perform yajna. It is said that yajnas are performed only with vegetation. And here is a quote from Shatpat Brahman, Kata Vanaspatayo hi yajniyaha. Only these vanaspatis, they are worthy to be offered in the fire of yajna. Nahi manushya yajjiran yad vanaspatayo nashu. This is the human beings, the humans should not perform yajna if there are no vanaspati. Nahi manushya yajjiran. The humans should not perform, conduct any yajna, yad vanaspatayo nashu, if there are no herbs or grains to be offered in the fire. Tasmad aha vanaspatir yajna iti. So he has said, that is why it is said, only vanaspatis are the yajnas, are to be offered in the fire of yajna. So the result of the Agni Somya Pashuyaga. I think I quoted the shloka here, but again this font has uh, corrupted. As a result of yajna, rainy waters flow on the earth. The mantra says, this is there in the mantra, but in English it is very obvious. As a result of yajna, rainy waters flow on the earth. These rainy waters will relieve you of the sin of cutting and destroying the vegetation, since more and more vegetation will in turn be able to grow. In the mantra it is said, when you will perform this yajna, then the rain will come, and rain again it will uh, help grow the vegetations and herbs you have taken or you have you utilized for performing this yaga. So it will be whatever deficiency came, so it will be made up by the rain again. So qualification of ahuti in Agni Somya Pashu. Again, he has given what type of ahuti qualifies to be offered in the Agni Somya Pashu. It has again been defined in Yajurveda. According to the seer, the vegetation that has grown in water, has consumed a lot of water, is worthy to be Deva Ahuti, divine oblation, in the Agni Somya Pashula. Only that Ahuti that has grown in rain and consumed a lot of water, that type of Ahuti will be known as Somya Ahuti. And in Yajurved itself, because this original mantra I am not able to read here, the Yajurved itself says, Varshagriddhamasi, Varshagriddham bhava. For rain making, the Vedas says, whatever has grown in the rainy season, if you will burn it, if you will offer the ahuti of that uh, grain, it will produce rain formation. It will be helpful in rain making. Just like the rice. Rice has grown into the waters. So the rice will be rain conducive. It will yield rain. It will be helpful in yielding rain if the yaga is performed with the help of rice. So he says, Varshvriddhamasi, since you have grown in the rainy season, Varshvriddham bhava, you will be able to produce the rain when offered to the fire. So it must be made in mind that the havi to be used for rain making or cloud seeding in Agni Somya Pashuyag should be of Somya nature. That is, it should have grown in the climate of high humidity and heavy rainfall. Vrihadaranya Upanishad also reflects an ample good light upon the rain inducing effect of the Somya Ahutis. In Vrihadaranya Upanishad, it has been stated, Somam Rajanam Jufati, means we are performing Havan with the help of the Soma Raja, Somo Oshadhi, with the help of the Soma. Tasya Ahutyai Vrishti Sambhavati. If the Ahuti of the Soma is offered, then the rain will take place. Not only this Soma Ahuti, some elements are also required mixed up with this Soma Ahuti. Only Somya Havis are not sufficed to induce rain or seed clouds. But they should be committed to the fire of Yajna in the company of Ghrita, fats obtained from milk of the cow. The verse had it as this. So the Yajurvedic verse, it has again corrupted, but its Roman version is here. Griten aktau pashus trayetha revati yajmane paripriyam dha avisha. So this whole mantra says about this. हविस्तीन यज्ञ सोमस्य तनवा भव वृषो यज्ञपतिम धा स्वाहा देवेभ्यो देवेभ्य स्वाहा. So the meaning I have given, let the Somya Ahutis be soaked in a grita. Only after being soaked, they should reach the Yajamana. They should be offered to the Yajna in the presence of the air in the open sky. This way they get expanded in volume. Since they are born in rain, they will induce rain. Let the Yajamana offer oblation in the name of concerned deity or to augment the power of the concerned deity Agni and Soma. Not only Somya Havis are soaked in grit, but oblations of a fairly good amount of grit was also offered in the yajna. And the same Yajurveda mantra says, Gritasya Kulya Uparitasya Pathyanu, means a lot of ahutis of Greta are to be offered. So this is how this whole scientific significance of all the yajnas are there. Whether you conduct Purushmedha, whether you conduct Ashwamedha, Azamedha, Avimedha, or Gomedha, they have different allegorical sense connotations. They are not have apparent meaning. Apparent meaning, their intended sense is different. Just I want to say. And the origin of the modern science, it is also said and accepted that modern science owes its origin to the rituals. Greeks had the fire cults associated with Hephaestus and Hestia. Iranians had also the altar rituals similar to that of Indians. Because the whole culture, the civilization, it went from India to other countries in ancient period. That is why all ancient cultures, they have adopted this type of ritual system which are based upon Indian ritual system. But Indian ritual system was very much scientific by that time. But rest of the country and present day also in India, we have forgotten the actual scientific significance of the rituals, and we are just doing rituals in the name of rituals. And that is why during the period of Buddha, the people got fed up with this type of ritualistic system because no scientific aspect was ever illustrated or explained by those ritualists, and the people they started joining Buddhism. So but the precise geometric parameters as are available in India are not traceable anywhere else. So the origin of rituals in the world can be traced to the Indian context, and origin of art, architecture, rituals took place in this country towards an attempt to explain various aspects of creation, Adhyatmika, Adidhaivika, Adibhautika, through equivalencies or parallelism. So this is how this whole science developed. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ravi Prakash. It was an excellent talk. So currently we are celebrating 7th anniversary of Rishi Vatika. Today is the third day of 5-day long celebrations. As part of this celebration, Panchahnika homams are being conducted. So I request Gadadarji to take us live on Yagna happening at Rishi Vatika. So we can see that it's happening now. Gadadarji, we can see, but we cannot hear. I think like all the mantras.
Yeah, yes, yes. Now it is.
లైవ్ లైవ్ లో ఉన్నాం. ఇప్పుడు ఏది చేస్తున్నారు? Now we are doing Navagraha. We completed Narayana and Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi. Mula mantra. So now we'll be doing Navagraha.
Okay. So yeah, I read on the flyer, it says Panchahnika homas, Ganesha homam, Navagrahadi, Narayana Ashtakshari, Mahalakshmi, Shri Shukta, Purusha Sukta, Narasimha, Hanuman, Shri Sudarshana homam.
धातु साधन्यं विदध्यकं सवेयं श्रवणं योगा तस्मै स्वाहा ओम चंद्रग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम सोमो वीरं सोमो अर्वन्तमात्रं सोमो वीरं कर्मण्यं विदध्यकं सवेयं श्रवणं योगा तस्मै स्वाहा ओम चंद्रग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम सोमो वीरं सोमो अर्वन्तमात्रं सोमो वीरं कर्मण्यं धातु साधन्यं विदध्यकं सवेयं श्रवणं योगा तस्मै स्वाहा ओम चंद्रग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम देवता देवता सहित चंद्रग्रहानुग्रह प्रसाद सिद्धिरस्तु देवता देवता सहित चंद्रग्रहानुग्रहेण अंगारकग्रह होमं होष्ये ओम अग्निर्मूर्धादिवक्रकत्वदे पृथिव्या अयम् अपागम्रेतागं सृजन्मति स्वाहा ओम अंगारकग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम अग्निर्मूर्धादिवक्रकत्वदे पृथिव्या अयम् अपागम्रेतागं सृजन्मति स्वाहा ओम अंगारकग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम अग्निर्मूर्धादिवक्रकत्वदे पृथिव्या अयम् अपागम्रेतागं सृजन्मति स्वाहा ओम अंगारकग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम श्री अंगारकग्रह अनुग्रह प्रसाद बल सिद्धिरस्तु श्री अंगारकग्रह अनुग्रह प्रसाद बल सिद्धि द्वारा उदग्रह होमं होष्ये ओम ओम उद्बुद्ध्य स्वाग्ने प्रतियाग्रशेण मिष्टापूर्ते सर्वं सृजेधामयं च ओम सौम्यग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम उद्बुद्ध्य स्वाग्ने ओम उद्भुज्य स्वाग्ने प्रत्याकृष्येण मिष्टापूर्ते सकं सृजेधामयं च पुनः कर्मग्स्वागतिमानन्दागमधे तैतन्तमेतत् स्वाहा ओम बुधग्रहाय स्वाहा सौम्यो ओम बुद्धुज्य स्वाग्ने प्रत्याकृष्येण मिष्टापूर्ते सकं सृजेधामयं च पुनः कर्मग्स्वागतिमानन्दागमधे तैतन्तमेतत् स्वाहा ओम बुधग्रहाय स्वाहा ऐदेवता प्रत्येकदेवता सहित श्री बुधग्रहानुग्रह प्रसाद प्रसिद्धिरस्तु श्री बुधग्रहानुग्रहेण बृहस्पति ग्रह होम होष्ये ओम बृहस्पति अधिगर्योर्हाज्यमध्यमादिक्वमज्जनेषु यद्धेने चवसत्त प्रजातस्मास्मृते ओम बृहस्पति ग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम बृहस्पति अधिगर्योर्हाज्यमध्यमादिक्वमज्जनेषु यद्धेने चवसत्त प्रजातस्मास्मृते स्वाहा ओम बृहस्पति ग्रहाय स्वाहा ओम बृहस्पति अधिगर्योर्हाज्यमध्यमादिक्वमज्जनेषु यद्धेने चवसत्त प्रजातस्मास्मृते स्वाहा ओम बृहस्पति ग्रहाय स्वाहा देवता प्रत्येक देवता सहित श्री बृहस्पति ग्रहाय नमः श्री बृहस्पति देवता श्री बृहस्पति ग्रह देवता अनुग्रह प्रसाद सिद्धि द्वारा शुक्र ग्रह होम होष्ये.
Thank you so much, Gadadharji, for taking us live on Rishi Vatika. It's fortunate to see Yagnam happening at this time while Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya ji was explaining about all the yagnas and ahutis that we offer while doing the yagnas. Thank you so much. So getting back to the questions on the YouTube channel. So there's one question from Pankaj Kumar Full. Where can general public get precise details of yagya, Vedi, dimensions of various yagnas?
So far as the dimensions of the Vedas are concerned, it is described in Shulva Sutras. So Shrota Sutras, they explain their entire methodology and all processing. So those all books have been written in Sanskrit, but some of the books have been translated into English, Hindi and other languages also. So anybody can refer to those and sometimes there are some articles also on different aspects. We have published certain books, certain papers in our journal Vedic Science also, so they can also be referred to.
So where can we find those informations? We can Google search and find about your
Yes, our literature is also on the Google, in Amazon books, wherever you will feed my name Ravi Prakash Arya, Amazon.com, Amazon.in, you will find the entire literature published by Foundation. In fact, we have published 64 books. You were saying 38 books, 44 volumes, but it is 64 books, 88 volumes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So whatever the interest, whatever books of your interest, the literature of your interest, you can purchase from there. That is available on all Amazon websites, whether it is USA, Canada, or any other place. This is easily available.
So you have mentioned about like while performing yagna, we offer the grains or the rice, right? So I may not know much, but I have seen performing the yagna by providing the wood pieces or like sticks, right? Not the grain as such. So, and then you have mentioned like the grain that was raised with the rainwater, right?
Yeah.
So most of the time, is that right? Like we use grain in yagnas or like the
Just like because the Yajna Samagri, it is made up of grains also, the rice, this mustard seeds, they are used. And because if you will use particular type of things, then they will have particular type of effect. That is why the Veda says, Shatpat Brahman, it is said, Varsh Vriddhamasi, Varsh Vriddham Bhava. Because you have grown in the rains, so you will be rain-inducing element when offered to the fire.
Mhm. Yeah, very well explained. Rain, Yagna gives the rainwater, and the rainwater
Yes,
washes
in
off.
Bhagavad Gita also it is said, na, through yajna, the rains takes place, and after that all uh, things grow up.
Mhm.
And in Veda mantras, we have such mantras, nikame, nikame, na varshatu. In Yajurveda itself, it says, whenever we desire, the rain should come. Means, means those people, they were able to make it rain.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I have written a book, Vedic Meteorology. Vedic Meteorology that
Ah,
explains the entire process.
nice.
Vedic Science of Yajna, Vedic Meteorology. So it is explained over there.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all those literature, and thank you for such an enlightening talk today. There are no further questions on the channel right now. So I would take this as last question. Thank you so much, Ravi Prakash Arya ji, for giving us so many talks. This is the fourth talk, so we are so fortunate to have you come and present your knowledge and lectures on various topics. We hope to see you again. So tomorrow we have a talk on Introduction to Mimamsa Darshan by Dr. Rachuri Acharya, founder of Atma Ashrama. Thank you all for tuning in on Rishi Vatika YouTube channel today. Namaste and have a pleasant day. Thank you.